to my humble kitchen. My name is Annalise Bars, and today I'll be making for you my cheesy chicken and black bean Fiesta bake. Now the first part of my Fiesta bake is going to be the cornbread base, and we're going to start on the wet side of the batter ingredients, and the Philadelphia cream cheese is going to be the star of this. I have let an 8-ounce block of cream cheese come up to room temperature so it's nice and pliable. I'm going to start mixing it up with my hand mixer, and then once it's nice and loose, I'm going to add 2 eggs to that. Okay. Now the eggs and the cream cheese are velvety smooth. The next step is to add 2 boxes of a store-bought cornbread mix. You can use any brand that you like. And then I also like to include a ½ teaspoon of cinnamon, and 1/2 teaspoon of cumin as well. I've always been a big fan of adding just a pinch of cinnamon to my taco dishes because the cinnamon and the cumin, when they get together, they just have a party and they work really well together. I'm going to incorporate now that the cornbread mixes and the spices into the wet batter. It is going to be thick, so what I'm going to do is gradually add a ½ cup of milk as I mix this in. Now you want to go gradual, because if you add too much and it gets too sloppy, then you can't take out the extra wet that you've added in, because the batter needs to have some muscle to hold up to the layers of flavor that we're going to build on top of it. Okay. And here I have my 13x9 pan that I have already gone ahead and sprayed down with cooking spray. You can see that this is just a little bit firmer than a cake batter. And again, you do want it on the firmer side because we're layering flavor on top of it. Smooths out nice. You can see the little flecks of spices and even some little tiny chunks of cream cheese. It looks so good. Meet me back at the stove. We can go ahead and get started on those other layers I've been talking about. Thanks. Okay, now it's time to work on sauteing up some onions and peppers. I've let this pan start heating up on my stove, and I just put in a tablespoon of canola oil. It's a nice mild oil. It's not real heavy and actually pretty healthy. And that was ½ of a large red bell pepper and then 1 medium sweet onion that I just sliced up. Just think fajita style. I want to cook these until they're soft and tender, and then I'm going to reserve them to a separate dish. Now while I'm sauteing this, I do want to go ahead and add a pinch of salt because we're working on building flavors. Now you don't have to use a red pepper. Any kind of colored pepper would work. I like the pop of color that the red pepper gives this dish. I also like the sweetness that a colored pepper gives versus a green pepper. Alright, looks like my onions are nice and soft and my peppers are starting to get tender. Now's a good time to remove those from the heat. Okay, and now it's time for my boneless, skinless chicken thighs. This is about 1.5 pounds that has been ground. Now, if you can't find ground chicken thighs at your supermarket, you can always grind them at home in your food processor. That's what I do. Now, what I like to remember is to spray the blade and the bowl of the food processor before I put the meat in to grind it, and that makes cleanup a snap. And let me tell you, I am all about that. Also, ground turkey would work for this dish, or maybe some chicken breast. When I was trying to think about a recipe that I wanted to share with everybody, I kept coming back to this taco bake that my mom used to make. Now, she used a box mix, and when I asked her about it a while ago, she couldn't really remember the brand, and I looked and I really didn't see a taco bake that resembled anything like my mom used to make. And I don't know about you, but for me, anything my mama made was really special. So that's why I wanted to try to bring my family something like this. So now it is time to add 1 packet of taco seasoning. This is just a store-bought brand taco seasoning. It's definitely okay to go ahead and make up your own. On the internet, there's tons of recipes for it. You know, varying degrees of hotness, however you like it. But it's just a lot easier for me to rely on the store mixes. Because as a mother of 4 little kids, it's important for me to be able to get dinner on fast. We're going to add back the vegetables to the pan. And then a 1/2 cup of water that the seasoning packet indicated was necessary to create the sauciness. And the sauciness is good because as it cooks, it'll melt down into the cornbread as it bakes, and it keeps the cornbread moist and delicious, keeps it from drying out, because there's nothing worse than a piece of dry cornbread. That looks great. I'm going to take it off the heat, and now I'm going to spread it evenly over the cornbread mixture. And you can see the cornbread mixture is standing up to all that chicken and all those peppers. It's not being wimpy and deflating. It's going to soak up all those juices. I'm just going to turn my pan around so the juices can evenly coat the top of the cornbread. Okay. Next, we're going to distribute some black beans over the top of the chicken, the onions, and the peppers. Now these are not seasoned at all, so I'm going to make sure I do a quick little pinch of salt over the top. Because again, we're building flavors. And we're going to finish this off with 2 cups of shredded cheese. This is just a regular taco blend of cheese. You could use a sharp cheddar, you could use like a Colby Jack, but again, 2 cups so that it just gets insanely cheesy. Spread that around. Well, there you have it. That is what the cheesy chicken and black bean Fiesta bake looks like before it goes into my preheated oven. This oven was preheated to 375 degrees. This should bake for 40 to 45 minutes, and you want to make sure to definitely test the center of it with either a very sharp knife or a toothpick to make sure that the cornbread base is cooked all the way through. Now I went ahead for the sake of time and I made another one ahead of time. And I'm going to pull that out of the oven for you. And if you meet me back at the table now, I will dish up a nice piece of my cheesy chicken and black bean Fiesta bake. Hot from the oven, my cheesy chicken and black bean Fiesta bake. I wish you could smell how awesome this smells. You can smell the cheese that's so gooey, and you can even get that faint hint of cinnamon in the air. Oh, it's great. And then when I push through with my spatula, you can hear that top layer of cheese give just a fabulous little crunch. The cheese is all melty. You can see how the sauce has just come down. Such a nice moist cornbread. Now you could eat it just like this, or you could top it with a little bit of shredded lettuce and some chopped tomatoes. How about some black olives? A little sprinkle of some cheese. Of course, for my husband, a drizzle of taco sauce. Actually, more than a drizzle for Al. And fresh from my garden, I am so excited, a little sprig of cilantro. This looks so good. I hope you guys try this out at your house. It is just a great recipe, and I have had so much fun to share this with everybody. It's just been a great experience. I hope you guys have just a blessed day.